Hi guys, and welcome back to Pass and Move, and for today's episode, a game against Rio Ave, of course, opponents that we've struggled playing against previously, so it'll be interesting to see how we can perform here today, but of course we are at home, so that means we should be the favourites. Now as you can see from the table, we are in second, but of course we can go ahead of Sporting. If we win the game, we'll go ahead by a single point. But yeah, it'll be good to put some pressure on them. They haven't lost a game yet, so obviously, if we draw, it's not good enough. We do have to win to make up for that loss that we have. But thankfully, we haven't drawn so far. It's also really good to see Hassan as our top goal scorer. It's just good to see a striker as our top goal scorer. I think Danilo was higher at one point of our strikers last season, as well as Santos, I think, as well. Fabio Martins has started the season strongly with 7 assists so far, and that's also good to see. Gruezo's the one who's got the best pass completion in comparison to Danilo last season. And of course, Danilo is the one who's also managed to get a red card in his name already in the beginning of the season. So let's have a look at what happened since the last episode. We did show you the game against Firenze, and after that, unfortunately, we couldn't perform well in the Europa League. It was the second game. We drew the first, but we lost the second against Oostende. Joka managed to get on the score sheet, but it was only sandwiched in between the 2 goals from Conte. Of course, Pierre also getting sent off in the 70th minute didn't help matters, as Conte managed to score in the 74th minute. I thought maybe we could hold on to a draw, which wouldn't be too bad considering that we are 10 men. But unfortunately for us, Oostende actually managed to get their second goal away from home. But yeah, after that we kind of just put teams to the sword against Ferreira 3-1. Correa's managed to score a penalty, but we also managed to do the same through Santos, and Reniel also with a double in the 21st and 26th minutes away from home. Always a good result, as well as against a team that are kind of tricky. And Taça de Portugal should have been a bit more of a comfortable win, of course. We're still in the 3rd round, which means this team should be semi-professionals, which they are in the Portuguese Championship. But yeah, we still conceded a goal through George in the 73rd minute, but still Hassan managed to score a minute after and make things a little bit more comfortable after he scored in the 66th as well, and Fabio Martins in the 14th minute there, rounding up a good game and a good away result. Against Moscow though, we managed to make amends in the Europa League, finally get our first 3 points, so we are with 4 points in total. Joka and Danilo managed to score, both midfielders of course, ball-winning midfielder and advanced playmaker, as our front lines managed to struggle a little bit. But yeah, that's how it looks like in the Europa League. We are still going to qualify technically. We do have a better goal difference than our German opponents, but of course there's still 3 more games to play, and maybe we can still go top, or we could miss out on the first knockout round. Of course, expectations are just the first knockout round, so hopefully we can go further and push into the quarterfinals this year, and obviously make some more money along the way. But yeah, we will face off against Rio Ave in a televised game here at home, and we'll talk more about what happened, as well as who's starting for today's game after the players warm up now. Overall though, not bad results at all. Just out of the 4 games we played from the last episode to this episode, we lost 1 and won all 3, so it can't be the end of the world. Also, it was good to see that we did manage to put behind us the loss in the 2nd round of the Europa League group stage games, and we managed to make up for it in the 3rd, so it's good to see, and it also put us in a nice qualification position, and that's more important than anything else. But yeah, today we can go top of the league, and can we do it once more? Last season we started very strongly, so can we do it this season too, and maybe even stay higher up? So we've got all the big 3 now, as well as ourselves in the top 4 positions. I think the last episode showed Benfica further down, but they managed to sort of help themselves up the table after their disappointing start. So we are favourites for today's game, and the pre-match analysis agrees with us. Hassan, our key man, even though he's on the bench. Kelvin, the Rio Ave inside forward, who apparently is their key man as well. He's not too bad at all, actually. Some decent attributes. Let's have a look at his ability. It's a good signing for Premier League sides. Not a bad signing at all. We would actually do well with someone like him. I think he would slot in quite easily. So in terms of who's starting, we've got Raniel, as Hassan had a little bit of a poor form. He has obviously managed to score plenty of goals, but I think Raniel just about gets the nod. Actually, he is in good form, so why haven't we selected him? Is it a fitness issue? I think it was a previous game, sorry. Either way, Santos and Martins are the ones who play straightforward first choice inside forwards. Hopefully they can make up for Raniel starting today. Of course, Raniel's not the worst of players, but he is a backup either way. Hopefully eventually he can really compete with Hassan. He's already considered a good player for most Premier League sides. Hopefully he can, as it says there, he should improve a lot in the future and become a top player for us. Joka taken over from Fonte after some poor form. Danilo's playing as well as Rosell. Juan Fernandez, I think, or Julian Fernandez rather, he's missing out on today's game after lacking some match sharpness. He just got injured recently. He was supposed to play instead of Rosell, sorry, and yeah, he just got injured, so then Russell's taken over the past couple of games. Hopefully, if Russell doesn't perform well today, then we should be bringing on Fernandez back on as well. Polino as the right back and Juancar as the left backs are kind of straightforward. Our whole defence really, and our goalkeeper straightforward as well. So just a couple of changes. Raniel coming in, Joka coming in, and Russell as well. They're the only three players who aren't typically our first choice team. It's interesting to see Rio Ave start off with a very defensive team. So again, it'll be very interesting to see whether we can actually, as it says here, get revenge and get a good result. I should have actually told them that we're favourites for today's game. It's always good to say revenge, but it's also good to actually lay out your expectations to the team. So we should be set off. They're playing very defensive, 5-man defensive line, I suppose. Even a defensive midfielder. They kind of are strong in the middle of the park. We've got 3 midfielders, they've got 4. But yeah, it leaves them a little bit short in the striker department, so maybe we can actually expose them there. We're playing a 4-3-3, which means 1 striker versus 3 centre-backs, not even a defensive midfielder really, so hopefully we can have some late runners coming in and helping out Raniel. We don't expect too good a game from Raniel, considering, the opponents, not just the opponents he's coming up, but the formation he's coming up against. But yeah, against Ostende, there's not really much to talk about. We're going to quickly switch up to control here. But yeah, just a player getting sent off again. It seems to be a running theme this season. The season's just began. This is the 8th league game, but we've also already managed to get 3 players sent off. I think in comparison, the whole of last year, we only had 2 players sent off, so it's very concerning. I don't have anyone on. We don't have the instruction closed down more or anything. So these are just the players acting out irrationally rather. And we saved the penalty, but eventually couldn't get the result. So it's a bit unfortunate to the goalkeeper. But anyways, Danilo with the ball here. He's played Polino through. Is he going to put a good ball into the box? We have several chances to put a good ball into the box, and we haven't managed yet to do that. But Polino beats his man, and one hell of a ball for Danilo. Ball-winning midfielder in the box, scoring a poacher's goal. And that's the advantage of actually playing, roam from positions and be more expressive. You let the players get to do their creative freedom. But you obviously have to make sure you have the players for that. I don't think we necessarily have. Welcome back once more, and sorry, but there's actually some technical difficulties, I suppose, if you want to call it that. Basically, QuickTime just shot on us, so I'm sorry about that. You didn't miss out on the replay, I think, but maybe we can show you the game and the goal, once more, and we can get back to the game. But nothing really has happened. I mean, you saw the goal already. You just didn't really see the actual replay of it, and it's still 1-0. So a good goal nonetheless. And hopefully we can continue the performance. So there you go, a little nice ball into the box. Joka's got it here. We managed to get it through to our right back Polino once more. Danilo actually finding him, then getting into the box himself, and managed to score from that. So really good to see just consistent pressure on Rio Ave. And Polino does well to beat his man, and Danilo's the one who tucks it away. So we can go back to being live. Carry on the game, and I do apologize once more for the technical difficulties, and hopefully that hasn't ruined the game for you guys. But yeah, against Ostende, it's just like I was mentioning, it's just very disappointing to see our players get sent off once more. I mean, I haven't changed any tactical instructions like I mentioned, and they're just being irrational, I suppose. I keep finding players, whoever gets sent off, I just find them. It should make them stop, but for some reason they don't, and hopefully that aggression can be channeled better in a positive manner, in the future. So 1-0 at half-time is good to see, but we do need to score more or perform better, and that's exactly the message sent to the players. So hopefully they can step up. In the game against Ferreira, it was a crazy game, but we did get the 3 points in the end. It was a bit back and forth there for the beginning. I know it says it was a 3-1 result, but it was just really back and forth if you watch the highlights and all that business. But yeah, we got the 3 points, we got our revenge against them, and we managed to go top of the table because of that result. So it's great to see. It's actually what set us up for today's game, sending us back to the top of the table as well, because the next game was the one against Gafana in the Taça de Portugal, and it wasn't as comfortable as it could have been, like I mentioned. So it was good to see us get the result in the end, but I would have hoped that we would be more dominant against teams in such a low division in comparison to us, of course. We're qualifying for Champions League football, we've got top facilities and all that business, but they're still managing to score against us. Not too good to see from my defenders. And against Spartak Moscow, the game that we played, it was necessary to actually get amazing goals, and that's exactly what we got. I think we mentioned it was Danilo and Joka who scored in that game, and they were both spectacular goals. And if it wasn't for that, I think they would have gotten away rather with a draw. Sometimes in certain games you just kind of need an amazing goal scored from one of your players that you completely don't expect. Thankfully, Rio Ave couldn't do that here, but we did against Spartak Moscow. So very pleasing to see that we can break down teams that are trying to play as much as possible in a very defensive manner, of course. No necessary substitutes to make just yet, so we'll keep that as is, and hopefully, we can grab a second goal without conceding, that's for sure, which hopefully we won't do now. But also, welcome back once more, and I do apologize again. Of course, hopefully it doesn't happen once more. Maybe we can try and end this video, but nothing happened yet. The highlight still continuing, and maybe Reniel will do something dangerous here, and I hope. Not a bad shot at all. And I hope that doesn't happen once more. I really do apologise. Hopefully we can get that quick time issue sorted out. Just stops playing or stops recording by itself. Maybe if we quickly finish this game, then we can get on, and hopefully by the next episode we'll have that sorted out. So Danilo deserves some rest, but he's got no one on the bench for him. So we'll just take off the players who we do have players on the bench for. Joka, Fonte, Hassan, Reniel, and there you go. Or any of them even need to be subbed actually. Let's see if we can take off someone else. Let's see what we can do. There you go. We do need the extra goal, of course. I should probably be telling my players assertively that I need to see more from them. We are at home, of course, so you can be more demanding as a football manager. And hopefully that little team talk, or substitution talk, I guess, if you want to call it, but either way will inspire my players. It looks like we might just scrape by with a 1-0 result, but despite Rio Ave trying to go more attacking now, they really haven't created anything of note, and this game should end quite comfortably in us. But they have one more chance here. What we're going to do, very poor corner, not a bad shot, but that should be the end of that, and hopefully we can quickly discuss what the next game will be, and we can get into we can finally end the episode without any other technical difficulties. So there you go. 3 points is what's important. Sends us top of the league, and apparently the referee had a very poor game. 3.8. That's disgusting, really. And he favoured us more than today's visitors, apparently. So that's not good to see. Even though we did get the result in the end, it's just not good to see. Of course, poor refereeing all around. Everyone wants to see great refereeing. Everyone wants to see a fair game. And maybe I guess Rio Ave didn't get a fair game, but either way, 3 points. We have to deal with the reality of the situation, and that's it. So that we can talk quickly about what the next episode will be. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will be a Europa League game against Gelsenkirchen, and hopefully we'll get our revenge in this game. I'm not sure in previous episodes if we showed you them. I don't think we did. We showed you the Fenerbahce game, we showed you the Tottenham game, and that should mean that we didn't show you go yet. So we should hopefully get a result at home this time. And we've got Porto and Moscow, huge games as well. Hopefully by the time we play Gelsenkirchen, we won't have, we already would have another 3 points on the table basically. With Sunday are the team that are leading currently in the Europa League, top of the table. So we don't have to face them till the end of the end of the round, I guess, end of the group stages, and maybe we'll be already qualified by then. But anyways, just to quickly end the episode, we will be back for the Gelsenkirchen game. So thank you if you did enjoy today's episode, and thank you for all for watching. And do enjoy it. If you did enjoy it, then great. And again, once more, thank you all for watching. Please subscribe, and please do hit the like button. And once more, thank you all for watching.